Hey guys, Phil here at Woods Tree Farm. It is a hot June day and I'm going to do a little bit of work over with the flowers because we noticed that some of the zinnias aren't really taking off like we thought they should. We haven't fertilized those. We just relied on whatever was in the ground. We spread a whole bunch of wood chips in that area last year and then tilled them in this year, and there was also some compost that was put in last year and we tilled it in this year, but other than that we haven't done any fertilizing over there. So I'm going to use my little bag spreader. I'm going to come in with some 10-10-10, see if we can't get those things to shoot up because we want them to be blooming by this time next month so that we can start having events out here and get people to come out and cut their own flowers. So I'm going to grab the fertilizer, head over there. I've got maybe a little bit of watering to do as well. We did a lot of watering here in the last couple days. It's been really dry again. You know, it rained like 2 weeks ago. We got like 2 inches of rain, and since then it's been dry, so everything's dry here again. So the garden area, the flower area, might need some water. We'll take a little trowel, we'll see what the moisture level's like in the soil, and make a determination when we get over there. So follow along today. Let's go have a little bit of fun. Here we go. Well, this is our plot. I'm just rub it in my sunscreen here. And if you haven't seen this before, we've got about a 75-foot by 150-foot plot here. And we've got zinnias just up on the first few hundred square feet of it, and the rest of it are all sunflowers. We planted our sunflowers over 3 weekends, hoping to kind of stagger our harvest as well. But I think next year we'll probably condense that down because the flowers kind of naturally are growing at different rates within here, and we're probably going to have blooms over several weekends anyway. So down on this end we've got our last plantings, so they're generally the smallest, though right here in the middle these are all transplants from where sunflowers were too tight together. We ended up picking a bunch of them up and replanting them here in the middle, so they're really small. And then over here to this side are our bigger ones, and these will be the ones that are ready to bloom first. Down on the far end of the plot are our tallest ones, and those are a little faster growing. It's like I forget what they called it, crazy mix or something. Those were supposed to be 90-day sunflowers, and everything else that we have are the mammoths, which are like 110, 120-day sunflowers. So we'll share more of that in the coming weeks as they start to mature. And then of course we're gonna have an event where we invite people to come out and pick their own sunflowers. So that'll be later next month into July. So now that my sunscreen's all in, I can shut up and go spread some of this fertilizer. So I've got less than 10 pounds in the bag. I'm just gonna go over the zinnias real quick a couple of times. I'm gonna shoot a little bit over top of where we've got some wildflowers planted. I'll show you that in a minute. And then any remaining, I'm just gonna distribute over the sunflowers. I'm sure they can use it. This here is our little wildflower patch. So all we did when we laid this down was we just tilled up a couple strips, and those strips were sprayed down with Roundup. That's why there's brown grass all along each side. But they were sprayed with Roundup before they were seeded, and then we just dropped the seed in here. There's a bunch of other not wildflowers coming up in here, but we're just going to kind of let this grow up and go to seed. I don't know what this is, if this is part of the wildflower mix or if this is something that's growing naturally out here, but something there is about to go to a flower. And then something over here got a little purple flower. So what we're planning on doing in this area, and this will kind of hopefully grow over time, is we'll just let anything that comes up in here, we'll let it go to seed. The goal is just to have this area here grow into a little wildflower patch, and if it goes to seed and this area grows over time, that'll be cool. And you know, looks like there's a bunch of little stuff coming up in here. Some of it's weeds, some of it's grass, but some of it's the wildflowers that we planted for sure. I am noticing, and you can see here, how this area over here is so much more green. I don't really know why that is. We did have more wood chips there in the middle, and everything kind of got spread out from there. So that might have something to do with it, but it's interesting to see how the sunflowers over there are considerably taller than sunflowers over here, where, you know, they were all planted at the same time. So I'm going to focus a little bit of this fertilizer here on these areas where the sunflowers are a little bit smaller. And I've only got a couple pounds left here in the bag, and we'll just leave it at that. I figured I'd take a look and see what the moisture looks like in the soil here, because while the surface looks like it's pretty dry and crusty, it might be okay because we watered a bunch a couple days ago. And yeah, we dig down, we can see the soil's still a little bit moist, not nearly as moist as we'd like it, but there's still, I think, plenty of moisture in the soil. So I'm gonna let this go another day or two before I water, and maybe if we're lucky we'll get a pop-up thunderstorm and that'll take care of watering for us. Over in the tree field, everything's fresh cut. We just cut yesterday, so that'll be the last time we mow for a few weeks, especially through the heat of the summer. We don't like to mow more than we need to. This is down in the pine section. These are all Scotch pines through here, and you can see they're doing okay. These were pines that we put in the fall. Looking all right. All right, so that's the sunflower patch, the zinnia patch, the wildflowers over there, and that's all that we got out here on the farm besides Christmas trees. So the wildflower events for us, just in case you don't know, aren't really meant to be a big money maker for us. What we're trying to do is get people to discover our farm through different means. So we have seasonal events. This year we weren't able to do our Spring Fest, but the Spring Fest is just a family-friendly activity. We've got games and crafts and hay rides and those kinds of things. Do the same kind of thing in the fall for Fall Fest, except we add pumpkins and some other fall things. And then we've got now wildflowers and sunflowers here, or cut flowers and sunflowers here for summertime to get people out here. And in about 3-4 weeks or so, when they're all blooming and ready to go, we'll invite people out to come and cut their own. So if you got any questions about what we're doing out here on our 43-acre farm here in Central Virginia, you just leave those below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And until next time, I'll see you on the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. See ya.